And the next presentation is going to be the presentation about the steps for the project development and also the type of the activities that can be considered as the JCM. Dr. Paweena Panichayapichet, the manager of the TGO. May I invite Dr. Paweena ka? Thank you ka. Thank you so much. For this particular topic, we will talk about the details of the project development, because part of you who are in here, maybe you have not prepared the project before, or maybe some of you had already done this before. So after the MOU, the new MOU, there are the steps that we need to implement further, like the Director Potipa had just mentioned. I will go step by step from the one that had previously presented. So the first step about the approval of the project, we have to say that the JCM, under the new MOU, we try to align the MOU to align with the Paris Agreement. So this one, we need to do the inventory, that how much did we had transferred to Japan, how much did we had transferred, and we have to adapt our inventory as well. And this one, in order to be the JCM, the Thai government needs to screen and selectly in detail all the responsible unit and also the target of the TGO. We have to consider that the selected activities are these really the one that can help to reduce the greenhouse gas in Thailand. And for example, this one, the things that we consider under the JCM, what are these? The first one we call the PNIN, Project Idea Note. So there is a link for you to download. For this one, this is the heart and soul of the project. For those of you who are here and are interested, you just want to know how to initiate the JCM. This is the very first step, very important, is a PIN, that you have to get the approval from the Thai government. In fact, there's both government need to approve, but the Japanese government provide a subsidy. The Japanese government will say that which project that they will select for the subsidies. And for Thailand, we have to consider about which one that we will select in order to reduce the greenhouse gas. So for the project developer on both sides, so for those of you who had received the support from the Japanese, like the Ministry of Environment in Japan, will submit this one to the secretary of the mechanism, and the mechanism secretary have to look and check all the documents, are they complete, and then submit it to those joint committee to have the joint approval. So this is the type of the form. You have to fill in the title of the names, last name, so who's the contact entity, what is the name of the project entities. And then the 2.4 is the one, what some of you may wonder, what does it mean? So it's like the project that you are about to develop. Did you consult any kind of agencies? Suppose you are working with the energy. Did you ask this project in order to seek the support or to seek the opinions from the Ministry of Energy or not? If you already had, you can check, you can fill in, and then they will check again about the opinions of that particular agencies. So if you don't have any kind of consultations, then you can consult with a TGO as well. And then further on, it will be the details of the project, what kind of activities, the location of your plant, and what technologies that you want to implement to reduce the greenhouse gas. Suppose you have the activities like building, the construction. So the building, the contract, it has nothing with the machines. So you can use about the construction machines that can you can implement in order to reduce the greenhouse gas. And in the case that when you do the feasibility study, you can say that this feasibility will be done in what, when, where, how. And then you have to buy the license, then how you can implement that one. The next one is about the JCM, that the credit sharing between the Thai and Japan. So one thing I will talk further about how to share the credit is a fair share, that both sides need to share the credit equally. So supports, like in Japan, how many percentage of, and then how many percentage that Thai will share the credit. To quantify these sharing points, in terms of the money may be the easiest way to share. So first of all, we need to have an investment. How much is the investment, and the subsidies will come. So if you can break down all these details, please fill in. And then when it comes to the calculation of the 3.3, application method of the JCM, do you have the methodology to calculate your greenhouse gas reduction? So just specify the existing methodology if you already have. And for this one, the new JCM, so it has to be done under the premium T world. The methodology right now, we need to further develop before you get the number. So you can skip this one, and then you can request the information from the TGO if you want to prepare this document. And then the next one, 3.4, expected greenhouse gas reduction. And then the expected schedule when you can implement this kind of system. So this is another one. Eligible activities. This is a very important part in order to propose propose this one to the Thai government to get the approval. This is the one, the sharing. The first one is about the project that had to promote the reduction of the greenhouse gas emission. And the word they use the addition to those prescribed. That means in addition. So when you do the business as usual, you have to invest, right? And then in order to be eligible for the carbon credit and sharing the carbon credit, it has to be additional. Okay, suppose you have to add on more investment. You may have to add on the new technology that never used before, or you have to add on the skilled personnel. So additional investment. And in order to reduce the greenhouse gas, this is the most important thing for the first one. The next one is a kind of support the greenhouse gas. The target of the greenhouse gas, or the NDC, we have the agency that's responsible about this reduction. For this one, if you are not sure about this, please consult with the TGO. And the next one is the one that I just mentioned, is a fair allocation of carbon credits. That this one will be on the equitable and fair, just and fair sharing of the credits. And the next one is the crediting period. The time of the crediting period. If you do this project, there's a time frame that you need to get the credits. Maybe the first day that you activate the machine or the system, and then it can be 5 years. Okay, write this one. And then that may end until the 2030, as we say. And then this project need to come to the transfer of advanced technology or innovation. Like this morning, Kun Hichawa had talked about the new technologies, like the capture of the heat in the kind of stones, and then can bring back to use it. And the next one, suppose you do the reforesting. Can you do it? Yes, if you have the monitoring technology that is modern, or any something that can use the machines or the equipments that can promote this reforestation. And the last one is the unit, the tons of the carbon dioxide. This is a JCM that we calculate in terms of tons, equivalent of the CO2. And this one, for the 3.6, this is the one that we came from the criteria that we just talked about. So if you have to fill out this form. Just check, tick, tick. Okay, number one, you can see the regulatory surplus. Some people are confused. What does it mean? So suppose your activities, suppose you are the plant. Okay, you produce the electricity. Okay, that is not clear example. Okay, let's see. Okay, sorry. Let's get to, and then I'll get the plastic. Okay, for the plastic, suppose today the Thai government did not specify that we have to get the gas for the biogas, and in order to generate the electricity. So if you do this kind of operation, so this is beyond the things that the law had specified. So if you follow the standard, that means there's no additional. You don't go beyond the regulations that the government had specified. But if suppose if the law did not stipulate it, suppose that equipment, electric equipment, you cannot use this amount of electric beyond this one. Okay, if the law does not regulations about that one, it's okay. The next one is a BAU. Like I said, that your activity has to be beyond the business as usual. For example, everyone buy the number 5 of the new air conditioning with the 5 stars. If you buy that particular machines, it's not. You have to get something more better than the 5 stars products. Okay, the other one is the development and transfer of advanced technology, innovations. And the next one is to get access to the financial resources. Yeah, financial resources is important. Huh? Some technology may be new, and the bank is not quite certain or confident in terms of lending the money. So the barriers about the investment. So something for the entrepreneurs, you have to go through many endeavors in order to get the subsidies on the financial access. So if this project had never been done before, and you have to train the personnel to control the machines, you can specify this one into detail. And next one is others. Okay, that your activity also support besides the reduction of the greenhouse gas. There are the other benefits that you support, and the other one is the credit allocation. So on both sides, the Japan side and Thailand side, you have to make the agreement with all these reduction. What would be the fair share of the credit on both government? How much on each side? And then what the reasons why? Because the proportion. This is a kind of life and death issues that they have to talk and make the mutual understanding agreement to begin with. Suppose we have the intention, like this afternoon, that we have the matching, the JCM. If you want to use this JCM as a financing program, you can check this one. Usually this one is the main one, and then we have other sources of money like UNIDO, or can be the Demon project of the. Or maybe the other sources of funds, like we have the private JCM that come in to the picture. That is the cooperation from the Japanese private entities. This diagram is the one that we need to understand and explain, that this is the joint cooperation between Thai, who is from Thai and who is from Japan. This is a sample of the project that has been presented before. Okay, in Japan, these companies and then partner participants are Thai. Okay, this one we had already explained, Dr. Putipa. This one, maybe you cannot imagine what does it mean. Avoidance of double registration. When you do the greenhouse gas reduction, you have to do the registration, right? In order to have the owners, like for the premium tea, where, okay, you are the owner and you are the manager. So we would like to certify that this one that you are about to register had not been registered to the other project before. So you said that when you talk, in order to certify the carbon credit, there are the UN, CCC standard, and also the independent that you heard about, LOS or VCS or this independent accreditation. You cannot register. So if you are on a TV registration, you cannot register with the JCM. But for the new one, so you have to declare that there's no double registration with the other entities. And the last one is the signing. Sometimes the PIN, there are so many times to revise, because you have to update and to have to update the informations to be realistic. And this PIN will be certified or approved by the JC. So this is the picture of the JC. The JC, or the Joint Committee on Thai side and Japanese side. For the Thai, we have the Thai, we call the co-chair. That is the ministry, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Resources and Thai Environment. And then we have Department of CCE, under the Ministry of Natural Resources. And then we have pollution control, we have Office of Natural Resources, or ONEP, and then we have the DIW, Department of Industrial Works, that those are the Thai side. We have the East Asian Affairs Ministry from the Foreign Affairs. We have Alternative Energy Development, DEDE, and then we have the Thai TGO as the secretariat of the JC. So these are the This is the committee on Thai side that will do the screening. And then the other side is the Japanese. We have the Embassy of Japan, that we have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have the METI of the Ministry of Environment, Forestry Agency, and also another Embassy of Japan. This is the components of the Thai of the Japanese committee as a co-chair. And then you have to be submitted. You have to be approved by the PC before you can move on. Now, once you submit it, when you're talking about the in the middle one, you have to request what's called the PDD, or project design document. You have to do about the project registration request form. We have to do the validation report. I will show you the documents that you have some ideas what else you have to do. So this is about for the request for registration. And the other one that you have to do about the credit sharing with the Japanese. Now, this one you have to request for authorization. We call the authorization in order to allow you to share the credits. And the manager of the project has to submit to the DCCE of Thailand, because the Department of CCE is a national focal point on the climate change. This is the agency that compile all the things that in Thai had reached the NAP or not, or the target or not. So for all this one, will be the one who will talk about the every tons that we transfer to Japan. So this is like the accountant who controlled the inventory. So about the thing, you have to send the request for authorizations to the DCCE. And then the next one, the second one is validated PDD. So this is one that had been verified, that has been, the department will take a look at this and then consider whether they will issue the letter for you or not. When you do the plan project, this is one of the safety step for you. For the Thai government agency had seen that your activities, what it's about, whether it's according to the plan, they approve the plan. This is like the preliminary safety that your project is likely to go through. So once the project had done the validation, they will issue you the letter of validation. Before they issue this letter, it has to be submitted and go through the cabinet that this project can be the credit sharing. But this one, the steps may be shortened because we right now we are quite clear in terms of the steps and procedure. So we try to streamline and we try to shorten the time frame. So the time frame for the approval, I hope it's going to be shorter. So the next one is if you have all the documents well prepared and all complete, the validation report about the percentage of credit allocation, and also the report. This report is called the Sustainable Development and Safeguard Assessment Report. So I will tell you, with the cover of the request form, you set up to the secretariat, and the secretariat will submit this one for the Japanese government to consider and then to approve about the registration. And then we come back to once the Thai government, when they receive for the Thai government with the letter of authorization and the TOG, the greenhouse gas the secretariat will submit it to the Thai committee that called the premium tier. So after that, we said, okay, this is quite a lot already. So if you want to do the carbon credit, you need to open the account in order to receive the credit. So it's like you open the bank account. So you have to send in the request, and you have to certificate of registration as a juristic person who is the one we use this account, because it has to be registered in order to receive the transactions. And now I will go about the documents. Just if you can, the first document, this is about the request. Okay, 1 page only about your project. The project name, who is the focal point entity, and then in order to request for registration, the next one is a PDD, and this is what we call the very important. They have the guidelines for the PDD. How can you prepare the PDD? How you complete the PDD form? And what are the parts of the PDD? The main thing about the PDD is the activities. What are your activities? What are your methodologies in order to calculate the reduction of the greenhouse gas? And what are the monitoring you want to do? Suppose you produce the electricity by the renewable energy, and you have the energy storage, and then how can you measure? How can you do this? How do you calibrate your machines? And the third party will do the validations that all the things that you have specified, that is it real, is it true, is it transparent, and then they will recheck. So this is like the proposal for your plan that you are about to do. And this one may not exactly the same, okay, because this one is under the JCM of the old MOU, but the new one may slightly change. But this can be the good example for the new one. So you can go to the website underneath to see the documents. Like for this one, okay, this is a 5 megawatt floating solar. And they put in the names of the project, and then what are the projects about to do in this one. And then the next one is a validation report and form. This one, the third party will issue you after you have checked your PDD, that your PDD is okay, then they will issue this particular document for us. So it's the conclusion of the validation about the positive or negative. Okay, you have to check only the positive, only. And then if the secretariat see that it's a positive opinion, then they can register your project for you. The next one is called the percentage of credit allocation. You need to specify that your project, who develop, how can you share the credit together. And then in some project that you don't, suppose you don't, maybe on the Japanese side, they said the whole credit will go to the Japanese government. And then we said that, okay, the account number, the government of Japan. And for the Thai government don't take the credit. It's going to be the project developer only. So you can donate your credit to the TGO. These are the voluntary cancellations that you don't use it and you can donate to someone. So you have to specify how would you share this one, what we call the share or fair allocation of credits. So the next one is the safeguard. They call the JCM, safeguard. This is for the new one. The old one, we did not prepare for this one about the sustainable development and also the safeguard. This is the one that under the Paris Agreement has emphasized the section number 6 of the Paris Agreement about the SDG. So in order for the JCM, we had developed the new evaluation. We have this new guideline that for the project need to fill out. It's not that difficult. There are 3 main parts of this SDG. The first one is about the general equipment. If you are talking, if you are familiar EIA or EIE, so they are in the same similar manners. So before you do the project, you need all the overall. The second one is the analysis. How can you make your project align with the SDG? And the third one is about the validation report, that you will not create or generate any negative effects. So this one, according to the Thai law, that suppose we have noise pollution or air pollution or water pollution, okay, with all this one. So that means if we have the already existing law that specify all these things, just specify and what are the things that you can measure all these negative effects. And the next one, the third page is going to be about what projects you are about. Okay, this one is the second step. So this is the step 2 of the project registration. Suppose when you do the registration, the secretariat would like you to open the account, and this open account will be in the registration of the TGO. Suppose this one is a name. Okay, this is a personal name with an account name, and if you have the project that had already been registered, your project name will appear on your account. And then it will say how much total credit that you already have. Suppose you have 3 projects, there will be 3 lines of the project, and each line will have the credit. When you click the transfer, that means you transfer the credit to the others. Suppose we have like some project that you already have the total credit you want to sell. Suppose you have 4,000, you want to sell it for 2,000, and once you receive, and then you will request the registrar to transfer the money to do. When we do the credit, we sell or buy the credit, you will do it by block. So this is the one. This is the picture that the project that had been certified. So there is one particular menu. This one I would like you to take a look at. They call the ITMOs, ITMOs transfer records. So in case of the JCM that we are talking about here, the credit on the Japanese side will be under this ITMO transfer records that you can take a look after some. Okay, that is the third steps. Now for the next one is the step 3 about the credits issuance. So, and then you say that once you register, what is going to happen next? So, besides, like I told you about the credits will be in your register account. So the credits, okay, it's come is a block. So there's one word they call the serial number on this one. So each unit of your credit, we have the serial number that is a very unique. Suppose they have 205, 15528, and the next will be 2927. Okay, running numbers. The serial number is the one that we do in buy and sell or the transfer of the credits. So it's very unique for each block of the credits amount. So before you get the credits issuance, once you receive the authorization to use this credit for sharing, this letter will be issued before you certify. So the TGO would like to make sure that before we do this kind of credit issuance, all the activities that you had done align with the things. We can do the recheck again, that did you really do what that you promised to do. And then after the department, we have the positive examination after the verification. And then the TGO, we would like to receive the positive examination before we issue the credits. Like for the serial number, okay, you see the -0 at the end of the number. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, you say the -1 and -0, -1. So regulatory rule is going to be -00, -1 means the credit that is transferable. So suppose these credits have been transferred to Switzerland already. So it's going to be showed up in ITMO transfer records. It's like for us, we had transfer, it's already transferred, it will be the -1, -0. So this one has been authorized to share to the Switzerland in that one, but in our case, we will transfer this one to Japan. So this one, we need to receive what we call the positive examination from the department before we can do the transfer. This is another one, okay, at the first time, you need to have a called a credit issuance request form. You need to get the credit issuance. And next one is verified monitoring report. You probably cannot see what does it mean by monitoring report. Once you register the document they call the PDD, is a text. It's about your activities, how do you calculate how much money can you make it. This particular PDD will be attached to the required documents for the credits, because the methodology of calculation you can put in the activity data. For example, you generate the electricity. Activity data is the amount of unit of electricity that you had generated, and then the Excel file will calculate the value for you. When you register, you can download this file, and then suppose you said that your system, according to your specification, you can generate this amount of electricity, and the file will calculate the amount of the greenhouse reaction, and the third party will check according to that numbers. And then you can use this number again to put into your activity data. For this case, if you look at it, it say that, okay, they did the solar PV system, and this year they produced 8,000.75 megawatt hours. And that one, the system will calculate the value in terms of ton carbon dioxide, and this one, and then you can use this one in your report. So this one is easy. Yeah, it is really easy because you can use this one. You can fill in the amount of things that you expect to do, and once you can use the actual that you had done, and then the file will calculate this one. The third party will calculate, will look at the 8,000 is true or not. Did you make up the 8,000? They will look up into the primary data. Suppose you said that you generate the PV electricity. Do you have the PV module? Do you have the PV system? And then you get the result. Suppose you get a 1 meg. Suppose you have only a couple, and then you say you produce the meg. No, the third party will check on that one. So it seems like the entrepreneurs did not have to do much, because you just worry about what you are doing and what you had done before. Say on this form, okay, the number that you put in, there will be a third party to recheck or examine your numbers. The third party will do the on-site visit to see that you have the equipment, you have all this reduction of the greenhouse gas, and the third party will give you the report. Only the positive opinion that will be accepted in order to get the credit. So the third party has to be positive, the department has to be positive, okay, I mean the TGO. And then the next one, the last one, is the SD safeguard. Like I said before, when you registered, you need to specify that, so your project had support the SDG, what numbers of the SDG, and then how can we measure that you support. Suppose you said that you will allow the feasible of the clean energy from the clean energy to get access. So we will check the electricity that you had generated, and then when it comes to the monitoring report, you have to fill in these numbers as well. And then about the negative impacts. For example, when you did the assessment report, so you said your project, you have the air pollution, so we will check the emission from the air pollution. Do you have any rules of laws, any laws or any act that control about the emissions, like the soft NOx, about the tons, about the value that you had measured, how much, and what did you have done. And then you had done according to the standard that the law stipulated. So we have about the plan that you would do, and then you think that you had done before, because our secretary will check every steps that you had done. So this is the last part of the registration. This may not be about the project developer, because the project developer ends at when you request for the credit issuance. So once you get the credit issuance, so it's going to be the arrangement. Suppose once you submitted for the credit issuance, under both parties, okay, both Thai and Japan approve, and then the TGO, the secretariat will register, will record all the things in your account. So you said that how much will be the Japanese side and how much will be on the Thai side in terms of sharing the credits. For the Thai entrepreneurs, we will put in the numbers, but for the Japan, we will record into the special account. They call the JCM special accounts, and this one the TGO will realize immediately that we will cancel the amount that has been shared to the Japan, and this, so that will be the end of the credit transfer between sharing between the two countries. And then at the end of the year, there will be the numbers that how much that has been transferred, how much from what projects, what are the activities that this one that the secretariat has done. So for the entrepreneurs or for the participants, your due duties ended at the issuance, the credit issuance. So this one maybe sometimes really, this is not serious about it. So like I told you before, that the first line, that the TGO will issue the credits in the special accounts, the Thai, and for this one, we register in the Thai registry. Suppose the sharing is 50-50, with 100 credits, 50-50 are sharing. So the 50 will be Thai the registry, the 50 will be in the special account. And for the second one, we will cancel the credit from the special accounts to the cancellation account. Okay, for this one. And after this one, the TGO will notify the Japan and the Japanese will issue the 50 of the Japanese on the Japanese side, and the cancellation account, the credit can get in but cannot get out, because this one will be automatic, absolutely cancellation, cannot be transferred anymore. So this number cannot be duplicated, and then on Thai 50, and then the 50 will go to the Japan. That should be about the end. So